Nigga, run me my money. Bitch, run me my money. Run me my money. Nigga, run me my money. Bitch. Hi, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. I am Mambo Soleil. Oh, I did not refill my water. Actually, let me turn my camera off while I do that. I will be right back on screen shortly. I am starting a little late, so that's why I'm flustered. Was having a computer issue. So we're starting a little late than normal, but we will be up and ready in just a moment. Let me fill my water because I do tend to need to wet my whistle while I am on these live streams. I hope everyone who's tuning in tonight is doing well. We will get started in just a short moment. Hey Nicole, hey Conan, hey everybody that's tuning in. Let's get this camera back on. Okay, hi, here I am. Hi everybody. If this is your first time tuning in, hello, I am Mambo Soleil. I am Coven Mother of Vision Adontor, as well as founder and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program, and I'm your weekly reader. I typically come here and I do these readings on Sundays, but occasionally when I can't do it on a Sunday, I do come in on a Monday like I am today, just to give you guys a little heads up about the energies that are ahead of us, what you can expect, etc., etc. So I just want to jump right into it because we are a day late. We're a day late, and I want to get into this so that way we can get back to the doings of the week, right? We just had the 222 portal Saturday. This coming Friday is not only a new moon, but it's the start of Ramadan. So there's a lot going on with us energetically, and I think that this is going to be a powerful week and a powerful reading. So let's go ahead and just jump straight on into it. My computer is doing, okay, there we go. Let's jump straight into it. Ancestors, angels, ancestors, spirits, ancestors, wisdom. What does the collective need at this time about the 7 days ahead of us? I'll just let them stay. They fell out. What can you tell us about the energy of February 24th through March 2nd? What do we need to be mindful of as we wrap up this month of February and enter into March? And the wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Very interesting. Hold on. Let me pull a clarifier. Yes, let's just clarify this Ten of Swords. What do we need to know about this Ten of Swords? 6 cards. 3 of them are tens. And then the cards that fell out are the 3 of Swords and the 4 of Cups. Y'all are dealing with some heavy stuff. We're dealing with some heavy stuff. Now, look, here's the thing. There are clear skies ahead, but the heaviness that's coming up is because there's a heartbreak, something that hurt you that you need to lay to rest. Yeah, because it's only making it hard for you to move forward. For some of you guys, this is your own heartbreak that you're having a hard time moving forward from. But for some of you, it's almost like because people are bitter about the way that things ended and they are ruminating and having a hard time releasing and getting over the way that things ended, they're going to want to pull you back into that energy. Here's the thing. Someone else's inability to move forward or to get over a situation does not make you obligated to coerce them, to beg them, to plead with them, to get them to understand. Someone's inability to move forward and to learn from their habits is not your responsibility. So, and here's why this message is coming up. Y'all's life is actually really fucking good. Things are actually really, really, really good for those of you who are tuning in. And it is the nostalgia and the pain and the inability to close a door and keep the door closed that is going to cause you difficulty. 2 cards that fell out. 4 of Cups and the Three of Swords. 3 of Swords is heartbreak meant for maturation. 4 of Cups is an inability to see your situation clearly. It's hyperfixation on the spilled cups and an inability to understand that there is something beyond those spilled cups, right? So that, with the fact that the remainder of the spread is actually quite positive. The only negative in the spread is that 10 of Swords. But here's the thing. We can't even really call 10 of Swords difficult because it's closing a painful chapter. It's laying something to rest so that you can get on with the love and the joy and the excitement of starting a new chapter, right? So very first card in the spread we have is the 10 of Pentacles. There are too many of you guys that have way too much clarity about what it is you want for your life, the joy you want to pour into your family, the way that you want to be remembered as you move forward, right? And you are actually in the process of doing those things, of building that energy for yourself. And the only reason why you would have any difficulty about seeing how close you are to, some of you guys are already doing it, but then others of you are just really, really close to manifesting the kind of generational wealth, the kind of deposits in your ancestral treasury that you want to be attached to and responsible for, right? But it's like y'all can't really see that clearly because you are begrudging and avoiding this ending that has been going on for way too fucking long and that is only stagnating you. It's not helpful for you. Yes, this ending is painful. Yes, the pain of this ending is inevitable because there are aspects of it that you don't have control over, right? And swords don't like to not have control, but in this situation, you don't. But the longer you prolong it, the harder it is for you to engage in the self-reflection that's necessary to have you stand as your higher self, to stand in your personal power. And the longer you prolong this next journey, this next chapter that you need to be able to move into without a ton of additional weight on your shoulders, right? So give yourself permission to disengage. This has been going on for too long. You've been in this point of unnecessary reflection and spinning your wheels for way too long. It's actually time to rest, right? Mars literally just went retrograde yesterday. And for some of us, we're ready to pick up and do some ripping and running. But some of us are still fucking tired. And we're tired because instead of resting and being still and thinking about how we exert our energy during the Mars retrograde the way we should have, we were trying to do too fucking much. So go ahead and rest. Stop spinning your wheels over this ending that you cannot control, this ending that is inevitable, right? And give yourself permission to rest, to recover, to really gain perspective, right? Because that's the thing about Four of Swords. It's rest so that you can get to the next battle. Rest so that you can get to the next chapter. Stop spinning your wheels about this. It's already over. It's done. So now you rest so that you can, Six of Swords again, move forward. This next chapter of your life is going to make so much of what you went through in the previous chapter make sense. But if you don't clear the space and allow yourself to have this next journey, and if you don't rest so that you have the energy for it, you're not going to understand that. You're not going to understand that at all, right? And Six of Swords is about moving forward and going into a chapter that is new to you, but is full of possibility. So rather than harping on and fixating on the past, wallowing in a heartbreak that was never meant to be permanent, it was only meant to be temporary, give yourself permission to move forward and to learn new lessons and to be tapped into what your spirits are guiding you towards, okay? There's so much joy on the other side of this. There's so much joy if you can just focus on what's next for you, the building of memories and traditions with the people that you love. If you can give yourself permission to focus on the community that holds you and not to hyperfixate on what you lost, there's a lot of joy. Not only is there a lot of joy, but there's a lot of money, there's a lot of luxury, there's a lot of experience, there's a lot of wisdom around how you are capable. Yeah, we think about the riches of the Nine of Pentacles, but there's a lot of wisdom to get to a place where you can understand what wealth means and looks like for you. Now, I know I just said a mouthful, and a lot of you guys aren't going to understand it. But for some of you, your definition of wealth, luxury, and abundance is not in alignment with other people's. Some people, for them, wealth, luxury, and abundance is having a huge, big house with a ton of rooms. For some people, wealth, luxury, and abundance is being able to pick up and go freely when you want to, right? That's why there's independence written into the Nine of Pentacles. Where are you in terms of your freedom? And are you signed up for definitions of luxury, definitions of abundance, definitions of progress that are authentic to you and that are going to make you free? Or, again, going back to this Three of Swords, are they going to have you wrapped up in imprisonment and pain, right? So to summarize this, if you are still this late in the year, as we close up February and go into March, if you are still looking back on things that you've lost last year or within the last couple of years, give yourself permission to stop. Do whatever you need to do so that you can stop ruminating, because there's too much beauty and too much blessing ahead of you. And if you are so wrapped up in the difficulty of wallowing through pains and wallowing through situations that you cannot control because you were never meant to control them, you are going to take a lot of opportunity away from yourself to experience joy and experience progression. Okay? So that is the general reading for the week. Hey, Josette, good to see you. Bertal says, let me share this comment. Bertal says, I'm trying to start my garden to start growing food. That's wealth to me. The grocery store is scary. That's real. That is wealth. And not only is it wealth because you will be creating food for your family to eat literally from scratch. That's the definition of from scratch. Growing your own food is feeding people from scratch. But not only will you be able to do that, you are accumulating or recovering a form of knowledge that is lost on way too many of our people. And you are going to give wisdom to your children that a lot of people don't have to give to their kids. I think that one of the fall or spillovers from slavery is that we look down on farmers. We look down on farming. We look down on the cultivation of the land. And we are about to enter an era, whether we are in denial about it or not, where the people who know how to cultivate land are going to be the wisest. They are going to be the people with true power. So I love that for you. I think that that's absolutely beautiful. Tori said, phew, I needed this message. I think a lot of us needed this message. I think a lot of us, it's funny because I don't think she's here, so I'm not going to call her out. But there's a young lady that I work with that I did a reading for yesterday. And she's frustrated because there's someone she cut out of her life that's entering her dreams. And I think a lot of us are going through that. So even if you did set the healthy boundary, because other people can't let us go, we're still feeling those tugs and those attachments. So this is a great time, especially as we're getting close to this new moon. If you have not done a cord cutting in a while, do one. Do one. Make sure your energy is clean so that you don't have people that you don't want touching you. Pulling at your energy. Josette said growing your own food is a flex. It's a major flex. Growing your own food is a flex. Having your own garden is a flex. Inshallah, one day. Having your own farm is a flex. Like all of that is a flex. And I think that the people that are wrapped up in the fancy car and the other things don't understand that if they don't learn and shift skill sets, they won't even be in a position to have those fancy things that they think matter and that are not going to matter in the next 10 or so years. Nicole said, when my mother died, I wasted the opportunity to take over our childhood home. There's nothing saying that you can't do it now. There is nothing saying that it's not in your future. If that's something that you want to do, you know what to do. You know what to do. So that doesn't, just because you didn't do it at that time doesn't mean that it's off the table permanently. I love how active you guys are today. I appreciate it. It really keeps me going. All right, let's look into health and wellness next. Ooh, I almost ripped out my own earring. Okay, let's get into health and wellness next. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits who walk with me, non-living ancestors with wisdom. Do we as a collective need about our health and wellness over the next 7 to 10 days? What can you tell us about balancing mind, body, and soul during February 24th through March 2nd? Who do we need to be? What do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environment that we can change or alter so that we can have holistic health of mind, body, and soul? Any wisdom shared? It's deeply appreciated. A lot of us need to revamp our physical care routines. We can get wrapped up in work. Some of us are still dealing with difficult weather. And because of that, we have to have physical health routines that are rooted in the home. This is an opportunity. This week is an opportunity to really, really reflect on the habits we engage in, what we need to incorporate. So I just spoke with a nutritionist last week, and she gave me some really good advice, and it's coming up now. A lot of times, due to diet culture, we get wrapped up in what we need to remove from our diet or what we need to remove from our regimen, but we should be thinking about what we could add, right? In order to have better health, in order to have more energy, in order to feel good in our bodies, right? And I think that's very much a message for y'all this week, or for us this week. And it's specifically related to physical movement as well as our thoughts. And I'll get into that in a second. But very first thing, stability within the home, stable foundation that allows you to celebrate a future, right? There are things you need to be doing in your home, routines you need to be having in your daily habits, but specifically related to understanding what you need to do in the home. It's like too many of you all think that working out or taking care of your physical body is a thing that you only do at the gym. It's like, if I don't go out to the gym, then I just don't work out at all. And that doesn't make sense. You can get a workout in at home. There are probably paths in your neighborhood that you can go for a run or a walk on, right? But figuring out what it means to have a physical regimen that is rooted in your home, and that is, and I don't mean, because the fours are about reflection, right? They're about foundation and extending your foundation, right? So just like the Four of Swords is a warning to rest before you wear your body out to meet the final rest, the Four of Wands is saying, get your physical regimen in order so that you have a long life to celebrate. So there are new habits that need to be bought in or called in terms of your physical regimen. But also, you guys need to be spending your money differently, specifically on food. I know food prices are high. We just talked about learning to farm and the garden to offset costs. But there's some reflection that needs to be done on how it is you spend your money on food, and how you spend your money on your health, period. Right? Another thing is some of you all are going to be receiving a financial windfall soon, and you are strongly being encouraged to, instead of spending that money on leisure, spend it on your health, right? Enroll in that Pilates class, see that trainer, see that nutritionist, right? Do the things you need to do, because the habits that you commit to this week will set you up for a rebirth. It'll set you up for a rejuvenation as it relates to your health and wellness. I think some of you all have, and rightfully so, spent these first 2 months of the I was about to say the week. That says everything about how I've experienced the beginning of this year. You've been using these first 2 months of the year to really reflect on your habits, and you have an awareness of what you want to die and release and what you want to embrace in terms of your physical, mental, and spiritual health as we go into the rest of the year. So really use this week to do that and to write out those goals that you have, so that when this windfall comes up, you can use it wisely on the preservation of your health, as opposed to just, releasing it to bullshit. The World card under the Four of Wands is an interesting combination for me, because what this tells me is that the healthy habits you set up in your home will spill out into your world, into the rest of your experience, right? I think because some of you guys, and when I was in the corporate world, I was guilty of this myself, because some of you guys are so busy in the world, right, showing up for the world, you neglect your habits at home, and then it ends up being a cyclical process, right? You don't have healthy foods in the house, so you're not eating healthy at home. And then when you go out to work, you're buying bullshit because you didn't have anything healthy at home to bring with you to work, right? And that all this stuff is related. So the big message here is that you show up more lively, more vibrant, more in control of the opportunities that are around you when you take better care of yourself in your home, okay? Page of Swords. Now, up until now, it's been a lot of Pentacle energy, right? You guys have heard me a lot say that the Page of Swords is a warning to not speak a whole bunch of limitation over our life. But the Page of Swords is also they're learning how to wield the power of their sword. How is this important in this reading? The swords, we know, are intellect. They're also communication. It's the tongue. So you are also learning what it means to say that you want something and to actually follow through and do it. We automatically think of the wands when we think of follow through and passion. But there's a connection between what we say and what we do. And unfortunately, a lot of you guys, this is why this is coming up. A lot of y'all made them bullshit ass New Year's resolutions and y'all ain't did nothing to stick with them, right? So thinking about what that means for you, how often do you say you want to do something to change the energy around your health, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health? How many of you are saying that you're taking social media detoxes, but you still sit around and gossip with people all day? So what was the point of taking the social media detox, right? Integrity of word is what's going to help you make this shift, have this rebirth with your holistic health. So that's why the Page of Swords is coming up. Are the things that you're speaking being put into action, and will they result in you having longevity, having a long life, having good health, so that not only do you have a good quality of life, but you get to be an elder. The elders are in the background. Grandma and grandpa are here. Grandma and grandpa had to make healthy choices and take good care of themselves so that they can even be around to see what the grandbabies are up to, right? So, to summarize it, if you have not done a good job of keeping your New Year's resolutions, that's okay. That's okay. This is a week where you need to reflect and see whether or not those were even realistic, whether they're in alignment with what you want for your health, and then think about how to set up habits in the home that put you in a position to make healthy choices when you're out in the world card, right? And you need to do this now because money is about to increase. And for some of you, because you have unhealthy habits, the money increase is only going to fall into you spending that money to do unhealthy things. But if you are clear on the changes you want to make now, when that increase comes around, you'll go ahead and you'll buy the herbs, you'll meet with a trainer, you'll meet with whoever you'll do the things that are going to help you prolong your health. You'll book a therapy session, right? Page of Swords. Some of you guys are having difficulty being in integrity with your word because you need help. Same way that the Page of Swords needs a teacher or a mentor, some of y'all need that. So get the trainer, get the Pilates teacher, talk to the nutritionist, meet with a therapist, do the things you know you need to do. Okay? I did not do love last week, so we'll do love this week. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, walk with me, elevated ancestors, what wisdom does the collective need about love, romance, and matters of the heart during the week of February 24th, going into March 2nd? Who do they need to be and what do they need to see about themselves, their environment, and their habits that will align them with an experience of love that they want to have? And it was shared is deeply appreciated. I love her. Queen of Pentacles fell out. So I'm going to talk about her a little bit while I pull the rest of the spread, just because I think she is such a beautiful love energy. She's the embodiment of as above, so below to me. And what I mean by that is that you get back what you put out, right? The way you feel about yourself internally is a reflection of your outside world, right? So she's a beautiful woman because she believes she's beautiful. She takes good care of herself because she believes she's worthy of that. She only, and this is where y'all struggle, she only spends time in spaces where she has favor and reciprocity because she believes she is deserving of such. I've been saying this for months, and I think so many of you guys don't want to do your personal work for whatever reason. But the reality of the situation is, until you really learn to love yourself and to carry yourself with an energy of self-love, of revelry, treat yourself like you're precious, right? Until you do that, you're not going to attract somebody that's capable of treating you precious. You're going to attract predatory people. You're going to attract bullies. You're going to attract people who have narc trauma symptoms or behaviors, right? And you're going to attract people who want to make you feel smaller because making you feel smaller feels good. You assume that because you are a person that is loving and sweet and tapped in, that you should automatically attract that easily. No, you attract your vibration. And so until you can move with an energy of worthiness, you are going to attract people that not only see you doubting your worthiness, but will exploit that doubt and will bully you. So you got to strengthen your intuition. You got to strengthen your relationship to your spirits, to Ori, so that you can make sure that you're moving from a place of worthiness. Because unfortunately, babies, until you do that, you're going to continue to attract manipulators. You're going to continue to attract people that want to get over on you, that want to take from you. Who are the easiest people in the world to take from? People who don't know their worth. They're the easiest people to bully. If you cross paths with somebody who is dependent on external validation, you can exploit them so fucking easy. So that's why these two cards are coming up to say, be tapped into you, love on you, nurture you. The thing about Queen of Pentacles is that she is so rooted in her energy of worthiness. She's even in this picture wearing what they call a man repellent outfit, right? She's so beautiful and adorned that bum niggas are not even gonna try to get to her. They're not even gonna try to attach themselves to her. And that's the only way that you can really protect yourself from predatory lovers. We are in a season of spiritual warfare. People are using romance to do all kind of shit right now. It is egregious. Okay? So be careful. An emperor does not need to cut their woman down. An emperor does not need to cut their man down. They don't need to cut down the people that they love because they are rooted in their own worthiness. There are too many of you, both male, female, regardless of your orientation and who you date. There are too many of you who want an emperor energy. You want a rooted partner, right? Because emperor energy is sexy even when it's in a woman, even when it's in a femme-identified person. Because an emperor is just somebody who is in control of themselves, in control of their environment. They have an understanding of the legacy and the empire that they want to build, and nothing will shake them off of that. There are way too many of you guys who want to attract an emperor, a deliberate, powerful, certain partner, and you are not deliberate, powerful, and certain about yourself. And if like attracts like, and you keep attracting people who bully you, who need you to feel bad about yourself so that they can feel good, then you really got to stop and ask yourself, what weakness am I offering up to people? Right? What fears am I projecting out into the world that are setting me up for people to put me in prisons of confusion? For people to pull me off my path? These are things you got to really ask yourself. So this is a week where if you don't understand the ways in which you are not treating yourself as valuable, because I get that there's confusion here, right? If you are in a space where you don't even understand you're not treating yourself as valuable, then you really got to lean into your ancestral worship. You really got to lean into your spirits. Hey, my son, good to see you. You really got to lean into your spirits. If you're in your high priestess energy, if you're tapped into your intuition, you already know something's off and you need to take care of it. But if you can't put your finger on it, talk to the ancestors, talk to God, get that wisdom from spirit so that they can tell you what you need to do to move forward. Okay? I don't know why people fight this message so bad. I don't know why. But we attract the love we carry for ourselves. It's that simple. It's that simple. And the Queen of Pentacles is here to tell you, step your pussy up. Not in a judgmental way, but in a way where it's like, okay, people only treat you the way you allow them to. Treat yourself good. And then you will attract partners that treat you good. And then if for whatever reason you feel like you can't attract partners that are treating you good, even though you treat yourself better, then that's a time for you to think about, okay, well, maybe the place I'm in is an imprisoned place. I haven't told many people this. I actually wanted to do a podcast episode about it. I had the weird experience of so y'all know that I lived in Oakland and then moved to Georgia. Those 2 years before I moved away from California were really fucked up for me romantically. Really, really fucked up. I moved to Georgia, Atlanta, the whole capital of US. I don't know why I did that. And then, but because I moved and I pulled myself out of that space of dryness, of abandonment, right? And then I moved somewhere else, it shifted my energy. So I've had really positive dating experiences since I moved to Atlanta. Atlanta is still not a real place. So people are unserious. But once I pick up on the fact that somebody is unserious, I dip. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I haven't dealt with typical Atlanta bullshit, but not for long. Some of you guys are staying in things that you don't deserve. And that is an issue of worthiness. Stop dating bullies and manipulators and homosexuals and then getting frustrated that the bullies, the manipulators, and the homosexuals are treating you like that. Your worthiness will pull you out of environments where people like that even have access to you. Okay? We're going to end with my favorite subject, which is money. Heavy on ATL is not a real place. It's not a real place. It's really not. But within the time I've been here, I've dealt with some bullshit, but it's been minuscule compared to how other people, the amount of stuff other people deal with. But I also don't put myself around everybody. I'm not mixy. I'm not mixy. I've never been mixy. I don't care what people think about me. I care what the people I love think about me. But you'll never trip me up being like, and then so such and such said, I don't give a fuck about such and such. Like I don't, you know what I mean? So when you move that way, it makes it easier to deal with places like this. Let's talk about money. Let's wrap up with money, like I said. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits who walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom does a collective need at this time about money, about their finances, about wealth and abundance over the next 7 days? Who do we need to be? What do we need to see about ourselves and our habits so that we can treat our money kindly, so that we can make sure that we are treating the energy of money with respect, therefore keeping it in our lives and making sure that the flow of it is steady. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I used to let slide all the time. No more. No, ma'am. And here's the thing. People can say you hold grudges. People can call you unhealed. Unhealed is letting people disrespect you over and over again. That's unhealed. That's being unhealed. And some of y'all, I'm going to say it, even though I don't want to, my spirits are being messy. Some of y'all are in relationships with people that you know good and damn well were never going to respect you because they didn't respect you when you entered the relationship. Most people are not that good at hiding who they are. We get insights on folks very, very early, but we want to lie to ourselves because sometimes we don't want to be wrong about the lie or the potential we thought we saw. Potential will get you fucked up. Potential will get you evicted. Potential will get you cheated on, child. Let's get this money reading. I don't want to talk about love no more. Let's talk about this money reading. Some of you are in fields or environments where people are, here's the thing. I believe that the world is a buffet. It's plenty of room for everybody to eat. There are some people that believe the world is a pizza, one single solitary pizza that only has, how many slices does a pizza have? Has a certain amount of slices, right? People who believe that the world is a buffet tend to always attract opportunity. They almost always attract money, right? Anybody who believes that everybody can eat and that there's room for everybody, that's an abundance mindset. People who believe that there's a finite amount of success or access will not only always deal with deficit themselves, but they will create deficit in your life. Why am I bringing this up? Some of y'all need to stop fucking with some people that are around you because you are in active, because you are in active denial about the ways in which those people speak limitations over your life. and you accept a lot of bullshit when you should be standing your ground and protecting yourself. Okay? These people speak a lot of deficit over your life. They make you believe that some of the things you want to invest in, start up, create are not worthy. This message about external validation has been in 3 of the 4 spreads, which is crazy. Stop searching for the emperor in someone else when there's an emperor that lives within you. The King of Swords, the advisor lives within you, right? Y'all know more about what you want your money to do for you in your future than you let on. And you trust other people way too much. And you have to stop doing that. That's only going to bring you to more perpetual heartbreak. Very first card in the spread, 7 of Pentacles, clarified by the Emperor and the 3 of Wands. Now, 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is one of my favorite cards. It's acceleration in the face of haters, in the presence of haters, right? When Psalm 23 says that the Lord will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies, I think of 7 of Wands, right? I think of somebody who is excelling and there are people around them that don't want to see them excel. These are secret haters, though. These are people that they haven't done anything overt until you start to see them until they start to realize that they're getting a little bit ahead of you. I'm not going to share that story. I'm going to say that one for the podcast. Pay attention to those things. Protect yourself in the face of those things. And it's really important. The only reason why it's going to hurt you, this secret hater that's being revealed, is because it's somebody that you respected. Somebody who you saw as having their shit together. But people who have their shit together don't judge other people. That's just the reality, right? And instead of being dependent on this external emperor, find the emperor within yourself so that you can stay focused on the next steps you need to take. There's an inherent relationship. Anyone who's taken my tarot classes, you know this. There's an inherent relationship between the 3 of Wands and the emperor, because you have to be in your 3 of Wands in order to operate as an emperor. What does that mean? You have to have clarity about the path ahead of you. You have to have vision and be able to see clearly the path ahead of you before you take your next steps, right? In order for you to be able to do that, you got to be on your King of Swords shit. What do I always say about King of Swords? You can't tell a King of Swords nothing about themselves. Now, sometimes that can be a bad thing. But for those of you who are trying to build your own wealth and build your wealth in a way that feels authentic to you, in a way that won't cause you pain, in a way where you won't look up 10, 15 years from now, getting laid off from a company or an organization that never gave a fuck about you, the way that you build that kind of wealth, you have to be rooted in who you are, and you have to really, really know what it is you want for you, okay? King of Swords, they literally are the professor. They're the advisor. They're the lawyer. Their wisdom is highly sought after. And it's because they have knowledge that they fought hard for and that they trust. But everybody can't have access to them. You are in a season right now when it comes to your finances where everybody should not be able to have access to you. Everybody should not know what you're doing. Everybody shouldn't even know your plans. So for some of us, we protect ourselves from this 7 of Wands experience by not telling everybody our fucking business. You don't know what a King of Swords is about to do until they're going to do it. They have so few people around them getting in their business, running back and having phone conversations, shitting on people's dreams in those phone conversations out of jealousy. People can't really do that shit to them because it's not a whole lot of people up under them who know what they're working on anyway. Right? Move in silence. Absolutely. I'm going to put that up. Thank you, Zena. Move in silence. 8 of Wands. Not only are you moving in silence so that people don't shit on your plans, you're moving in silence so that when the opportunities pick up, you can get up and move freely, right? In order to take advantage of Eight of Wands energy, you have to be unencumbered. You have to be unencumbered with other people's opinions. You have to carry a light load on your back. Because this is energy where the blessings are so quick and so fervent, you just got to ride the wave, right? Depending on someone to gas you up will only break your heart. That's why I'm saying you got to find the emperor within you, right? I don't know the exact astrological, but I know that there's a lot going on where codependency is being broken in people within this last year and a half. And your hyper-dependence on external validation and somebody else gassing you up and, getting these accolades from whoever you put on a pedestal, it's only going to lead you to heartbreak. It's only going to lead you to heartbreak. Because here's the thing. Another thing about what do I always say? I just said it. People only want to see you do good to a certain extent. If you get to the place where you can potentially surpass somebody, that's when the venom comes out. So don't even put yourself in that position. I brought up codependency for a reason. Hold on a second. Let me hide this. Eight of Pentacles is the card of imposter syndrome. I've only recently learned this, and it's really opened up my understanding of this card. Because when we are aligned and when we're working hard and when we're sharpening our skill sets, we are in our energy. We're in our vibe. Nobody can tell us shit about us. But when we are going through the motions and we're disconnected from our gifts, that's when people can tell us who they think we are. That's when we suffer from imposter syndrome. When it comes to your finances, study the things you want. Okay, yeah, you may want to own a $750,000 house someday, and you damn sure don't have $750,000 in the bank right now. But that doesn't mean that there aren't ways to get it. Study your credit. Look for opportunities. Look for first-time homeowner things in your name. I'm saying, rather than getting wrapped up in the doubt that other people are trying to feed you, study, refine your skill set, prepare yourself for the wealth that you want. There are some of you guys who want to be a millionaire and you don't even have the right bank accounts for that. You cannot become a millionaire with your little basic Chase checking. You don't even have the space to hold the million. So rather than getting wrapped up in it and running to false emperors, begging them to assure you that one day you're going to be a millionaire, go research what you need to do. We end with the 10 of Pentacles. You will have what you want, which is a good legacy and wealth to leave behind. You will absolutely have it, but you don't get that through the approval of other people. That's not going to bring you your wealth. What brings you your wealth is knowing who you are, standing your ground, and making moves even when other people don't understand it. Okay? So that is the money reading for this week. To summarize, stop worrying about everybody else's opinion about what you're doing. Stop looking for external validation. Stop telling everybody your plans, because people will put doubt in your head around your plans only to turn around and do what you do. I cannot tell you how many people talked shit about me when I first started being a priestess full time and told me that I needed to drop the life coaching stuff and that spiritual people threatened me and said spiritual coaching would get me sued. Those same people that said that shit to me are now running around calling themselves spiritual coaches, and they have no training. You cannot here's the thing, the emperor wants to keep their position. You're running for the validation of the emperor. They don't want you to have more than them. They do not want you to have more than them. Stop telling everybody your plans. Stop depending on external validation. Get to work. Believe that you are worthy. Believe in you. You are not an imposter. Believe in you. And then you'll see results. Alrighty, we are now at the end of the reading. If anyone has a question that they want me to answer, go ahead and type it in the comments, and I will go ahead and answer those for people. Shwazy said, "Thank you, Mambo Soleil. This whole reading was such a confirmation and affirmation." Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really, really glad to hear that this was helpful for you. I low-key didn't even want to get on camera today. I'm very tired. But I care about consistency, and I didn't want a whole week to go by without giving you all a message. So, Oshun Rising said, "I called myself cleaning up the kitchen while listening, but nope, I'm completely locked in." I'm grateful that this clean your kitchen. It's important to have a clean kitchen. If you know, you know. But I'm grateful that this reading resonated with you. I'm really, really glad to hear that. Live, love, pure natural. I just want to say your readings have been spot on for weeks on end and corresponds with astrology, and you look beautiful. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. I appreciate that tremendously. Yeah. Thank you all. I'm gonna take a moment in case anybody has any questions they want me to answer. Um, I will work on sharing your works more as well. I appreciate that, Karen. I appreciate that tremendously. I'm always telling people my channel is small. And I have no complaints because even with my small channel, I'm able to sustain. So there are people that have thousands of folks on their channel and they're not as busy as me. And I'm not saying that to flex. I'm just saying that I'm truly grateful and that followers don't necessarily equal support. But I am always trying to get people to share my work more broadly because I would like to have the channel grow over time. So that's really helpful and that means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Yes, a clean kitchen cleanses the root chakra. Absolutely. A clean kitchen is good for the root chakra. A clean kitchen sink is good for the solar plexus. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm just gonna wrap up by letting you guys know what I'm working on. I don't see any questions. So tomorrow I have my next Patreon exclusive class. I'm gonna be teaching you all how to enchant your social media for protection and for glamour. We live in a time of spiritual warfare. People are crazy, and not only are individuals crazy, there are entities, principalities that don't mind manipulating weak people to get to the chosen ones, to get to those who are walking right with righteousness, right? And so whether you believe that social media or the internet itself is a principality in and of itself, and there are certain spiritual scholars that will argue that, or whether you believe that it is a tool that is manipulated by principalities, either way, you should be enchanting your social media. And so in the class tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about why. I'm going to be defining what a principality is because you would be surprised how many people don't know what a principality is. And then I'm going to be talking about things you can do to not only protect your social media, but to call in favor and to call in blessings. So if you are not already subscribed to my Patreon, it is a Patreon exclusive class. The Patreon exclusive classes will not be available on my website, soleilconjureshop.com. They will only live on my Patreon. And I have tiers that are as low as $5. $5 for live classes, $15 for live classes and replays. That's light work. So consider joining us because I know that you guys are going to want that information, okay? Love and romance readings as well as ancestral life path readings are still on sale for $75. They will be until midnight on the 28th. So these were the sales for Black History Month. If you've not already booked yours, but you are interested, go to my website, soleilconjureshop.com, to book your readings. 2 weeks left to sign up for Sacred Alignment, which is my Divine Feminine Retreat that is happening in Houston, Texas, second week of April. If you are interested in joining us for 3 days of healing, release, and tapping into your divine feminine essence, make sure that you click on the link below in the comments section to join the WhatsApp group. I see you, Shwazy. I'll answer your question. Also, there is another round of Rich Spirit. Rich Spirit is my prosperity ritual where I help people release spiritual blockages and call in and align themselves with an energy of wealth and abundance. So that's everything I'm working on at the moment. Please click the links below. Shwazy wants to know, they said they were called to take legal action over a money matter. What would be their best course of action? Okay. Ancestors, angels, master spirits, walk with me. What would be the best course of action for Shwazy in this situation with the legal matter? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Yes, thank you, Sanidra. I'm going to put that up. Rich Spirit works. She is still seeing benefits from the last ritual. Rich Spirit works. I'm going to be honest. The only people, it is a ritual. So you have to do things. I'm not going to say that when spellcasters take your money and they don't have you participate, that they're not doing anything, because I'm not in their personal business like that. But I know that whenever you are doing a working and you are involved in it, your energy is involved in it, it's strong. So the only times that people have not gotten results from Rich Spirit is when they didn't participate. They just paid me money and they didn't do any of the stuff we were supposed to do over that 4-day period. But people like Sanidra, like Bertal, like Mazone, people like Zena, who have done the work, have seen results. So definitely make sure that you give yourself permission to join us for the next round of Rich Spirit. So let's go back to Shwazy's question. Your best course of action. Let me pull a clarifier because this one is throwing me. I'm not gonna lie. Clarify the 5 of Cups. What do we need to know about the 5 of Cups? Take the legal action. If you don't take the legal action, you will have a lot of regret about it because the first card is the 5 of Cups. This is not a matter that you are going to see results on quickly. We have the 7 of Pentacles, which talks about taking time to manifest money. We have the Death card over the 5 of Cups. So the rebirth is about you being able to move forward and thinking about what the compensation looks like moving forward. Whatever was taken from you, you're not going to get back. That doesn't mean that you're going to get less than, but there's something about how you need to look at this differently so that way you don't spend a whole lot of time like focusing on the spilled cups. This is something that's going to take a minute, but you will see reward, right? Your seeds that you plant will have bounty. So you need to do it and you need to move forward. You also need to be very, very clear that you're not going into this with any delusion, right? That's why that 5 of Cups clarified by the Death card came up. Take the legal action, move forward, but understand that it's not something that's going to happen super quickly, right? Pisces can see things through rose-colored glasses. They'll see it the way that they want to see it. And so it's really important that you be rooted so that you can go about this in concrete ways. Okay? I hope that made sense. Zena wants to know if she should go to Miami or London for her first vacation. I love these kind of questions. And I think that that's the only other question we had. So we're going to wrap up with Zena and then we'll wrap up for the night, okay? Yeah, Sister, should Zena go to Miami or London for her first vacation? Should you go to Miami or London? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. You're very welcome, Swayze. It's going to go in your favor, but it's not going to. And that's the thing about most legal cases. It's very rare that they happen quickly. So you have to be committed to the long haul. I am seeing. So even though this is a vacation and this is about you resting, reflecting, thinking about your next steps, based on the energy of this reading, Knight of Swords, Hermit, and the Queen of Swords, I'm going to say go to London. Hold on a second. Knight of Swords, somebody who is driven to succeed, who is clear about what they want. Hold on. I'm trying to get to high current comment. I'm trying to get to Zena's question. Okay. There we go. Driven to succeed, clear about what they want, but can also be a little haphazard, can run over opportunity, cause collateral damage. What I get from this is that Miami's a little too lit. I think that's the easiest way to say it. Like Miami's a little too mixy, at least right now. So if you go to Miami, you'll be so busy with the runaround that you won't really be setting yourself up for the reset that a vacation is supposed to be. Your spirits would like for you to have a vacation where you are engaged in reflection, where you're thinking about your next steps, where you are a little bit in incubation in terms of your relaxation. And that gives you a different perspective about how to move forward, right? Whereas Miami is a little bit more party. London seems to be a little bit more serious. So I say that your spirits are encouraging you to go to London. All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for the night. It was great to see you all. I plan to be back Wednesday evening, but if I'm not back Wednesday evening, I'll be back Thursday afternoon. But we will have another additional live this week outside of the weekly forecast. So whether it is a happy hour reading or a weekly check-in, a midweek check-in, I will be back before the week is over. If you want to book with me, go to soleilconjureshop.com. If you are interested in signing up for Rich Spirit, the link is below. Interested in learning more about my retreat, the link is also below. Y'all know how to find me is the long and short of it. But until next time, I want you all to take care. I'll see y'all in a couple days. Good night.